So, hello, welcome back to Grub2 Disk live development. It seems that nobody is in the chat, at least they are not saying anything. Yeah, and the stats here on YouTube says only one person is checking the recording, so we'll have to schedule the recordings. So okay, I had the let me close this. It seems it works. Okay, so so what we are going to do, what we want to do is, let me show you. This is the Grub2 Disk working on an on a EFI, on a EFI virtual machine. And now, if I go into boot manually Grub.cfg, okay, it is not going to show anything because in the last video we saw how okay, let me see if I can okay, so as you see, there are no entries. Okay, let me see if I can it seems I cannot make the CPU to be smaller. Anyway, so now I am going to turn on the search for Grub2 Disk device itself, because I'm going to need it. Okay, so if I try again to boot manually and I choose Grub.cfg, okay, so now you are going to see the Grub.cfg files, okay. So let's find the script while it is finding the Grub.cfg files. Okay, so yeah, so now you are seeing that there is a Grub.cfg detected on HDO GPT-3 and there is another one on HDO Apple 3. Okay, so how does it work? Okay, so I'm going to close this because it makes too much noise. How does it work? So it let's see the main script so that you can see it. This is the main script. Okay. So this is working thanks to the boot manually, okay, cfdetect.cfg. Yeah. So if we go to the grubdetect.cfg, you will see that here it is. Wait a moment, please. Okay, so you will see that there is this is the grub.cfg. Yeah, so you will see that it's going through all these files in every device, and then depending on the device where it's found, it's using search in device. So please let me check the other files, because I thought host detect, okay, search in buys, yeah, and there is the extract entries one. Okay, this is the group detect, which is another thing which it's also wrong. Okay, but what we wanted to do today, it was a CFG detect. Okay, so sorry for my mistake. This is CFG detect, which is a bit nicer, a bit the name. It's a bit easier to understand. So what we have right now is this. So let's check all the configuration files in boot group in this paths boot group grub.cfg. You know that you can have separate boot partitions, so that what there's in a separate boot partition is the same thing, but without the boot. So it's grub.cfg. Okay, and then there's the Fedora people, who are the bad guys, the people with knives in the streets, on the night, because they are using Grub2. So I guess this is a way for them so that Grub and Grub2 work in the same installation without too much hassle, and well, it's nicer. So yeah, so we have boot and not boot, and we have the Grub2 and the Grub2 files. But the problem is that we are searching in all the devices by default, instead of searching on the devices where we want to. So this is the search device, okay, which should be here instead of here. So it's just swapping the lines, okay. So now we are going to I'm going to show you here. There is a line that talks about the device being a CD, and the detected CFG being different to the one from prefix, which is the one which the group device. So that's the device where Grub2 Disk is. So, and then they are checking if the file exists. So if you remember from the other video cast, or whatever, it's from the other live stream, if we take a look at if we take a look at main, we take a look at main. We are setting up the SGD disk name, and then I think it's tools. Let me see if I'm right. In tools, you can see the searching device, which now it excludes the SGD2 def name. Okay, so now we are excluding, thanks to tools.cfg, thanks to the search in device function, we are excluding the supergroup disk device, unless we turn on the supergroup2 device search, which you have just seen in the virtual machine. So what does it mean? Okay, what it means is that we are not longer needing this thing about this is CD, this is prefix group. No, this is done thanks to the other code. So what we actually need is to check if the file exists. So yes, this is going to be like this. So if the file exists, then it's true. Okay, CFG font is true. So first of all, we are going to save this change, and then we will see what more we can do. So okay, this is our change, and wait a second. Okay, so now we're going to save this change as CFG detects no longer needs to exclude own supergroup to disk device. This is okay. Go to search in device. As good as it. Okay, that's it. So if we run, okay, first of all we are going to check if it works. We wouldn't need to do it, but we are going to check if it works. So I'm going to run the supergroup meta rescue, meta mk rescue. Okay, so the ISO has been built, and now I'm going to enable search in supergroup disk device. Okay, and I'm going to detect the GRUB.cfg files. So if everything is okay, we should see our GRUB.cfg files as we saw them before. So we just wait a bit. And you will see that there are the same files. As you can see, there's an additional file, which is the hdo but grub.cfg, because that one is the prefix one, the one that grub.cfg was excluding by itself. Okay, so now just for it, we are going to turn off the search in GRUB2 device, and we are going to run it again and see what happens. Now we shouldn't see any of these devices, because the search device function is going to here's the search in device function. The search in device function, it should exclude it. Okay. So the next step, no grub.cfg, perfect. So we are going to hold the virtual machine, and the next step, okay, we are going to see. So the next step is turning around these files, because we are trying to find these files in many devices instead of just using the okay, instead of just using the searching device function. So let's try it. Okay, so let's see how it was done in the OSDetect code, so that it's easier for us to just copy and paste. Okay, let me see, it's here it is. So here it is. So so what we are doing here is removing the things, and we just use we save it into device without parentheses. Okay, so, and then we discard floppy and CD-ROM thanks to search in device. So this is what we are going to use in CFG detect. Okay, so just paste here. Yeah. Okay, let's 1 second, let's write it same indentation. Okay, so for dev in devices, yeah. Okay, so yeah, so what it's found here, if I'm not mistaken, this is the same thing as device. So what we need to do is change it here so that it's a TFG device. Okay, and then we can use def if we want instead of CFG device, but we are not going to use it. So once we have looked into devices and we have done this operation, okay, so what we have to do is to run the search device, okay, so that it tells us if we have to do something or not. Okay, so yeah, so once we are in the device, what we need to do is to loop, okay, is to loop on all these files. So we are going to call them, okay, the FG path, yeah, in. Okay, so we are going to copy all of these, okay, and if it works like in how's that, like in Bash, we could just do this. Okay, yeah. So what we are doing here is to loop between NCVT path. Okay, so then we are going to okay, then we need the CFG thing. Okay, so how do we use the CFG thing? Okay, so I'm going to define the CFG. Okay, so the CFG should be this thing. Okay, CFG device. Yeah, I'm going to use this. Then we need slash because we remove it in the other place, and the other variable. Okay, so as this is CFG, the how is it called, the syntax color is not perfect. So now, if I'm not mistaken, this CFG, okay, this CFG should be equivalent to the one which was found here, because we are using this element, then the CFG device, which is the one which we take from inside. Okay, we are going to close and going to open and close the. Okay, then the slash, and then the path. Okay, so the path is one of these. So once we have it, then it's basically we are inside here, but the other way around. So we just need to copy and paste this so that it works. Okay, so we are going to copy it and to paste it here, and we are going to how's the name, we're going to indent it. So here it is. So let's check it again. Okay, now we are working with spaces. Let's fix this. Yeah, this is not good enough, but I don't know how to do it better. Okay, so now we are going to review if it makes sense. Okay, because sometimes it doesn't make sense. So the N. Okay, here we are. So what we have here is looping between devices, defining the CFG device variable, then looping between devices which we need to search or not, and then looping between the NCVT path. So we define the CFG, and then depending if it exists or not, we can define the CFG font as true. Okay, and then we write the final option with all of this. Okay, so I think we are done. Okay, let me see. So finally, if there is nothing found, okay, so we add this. So we can just remove the old code. Okay, we will check later it if we need it. And that's it. So we are done. So now we are going to build the ISO, again. Okay, so we are going to build it, and once it's built, like right now, we're going to test it to see if everything works as expected. So as I said before, we need to turn on the GRUB2 Disk device search so that it works, and then we need to search for Grub2 configuration files. And well, in theory we it should be quicker. So this is quicker. I think it works better than before. So now, for the sake of it, I'm going to where is it? I'm going to boot manually. Yeah, I'm going to turn it off, and then we will see that it's not okay. So we will see that it's not working. It should not find the CFG files, and I'm not sure, but I think that it's working faster, and that's very good, because some people complain about GRUB2 Disk being not fast. Okay, but you don't care about these details if you want to put into your system, don't you? Okay, so here we are. So let's see the diff. Okay, the diff is quite good, I suppose. So our commit, we will see CFG detect was rewritten so that it only loops between devices that actually need to be searched into. Well, that's not very good English, but I think it's okay. Okay, so we have finished. Okay, so we have finished, but we are going to continue. So let us see again the available options. So the first one is the operating systems one. Okay, so this is OS detect, which I have opened here. Okay, so the OS detect, it already loops into devices, and then it does the search in device thing, so that this is okay. Okay, so the next one is the extract entries one. Okay, so we are going to take a look at it. So this one is found in cfg extract.cfg. Okay, so as you can see, this is more or less the same code. The only difference is that here it says entries from, and here it runs extract entries source. Okay, while if you check the other file here, it says config file. Okay, let me show you the other file so that you can see it. Okay, so yeah, the other file says config file. Okay, so cfg extract. Okay, so So we are going to do the same thing. So I'm going to copy and paste from the CFG detect one. Okay, I'm going to put it in my second screen, which you are not seeing, but anyway, as this is going to be quite easy to do, so nothing to be. Okay, so I'm copying the code. So now what I'm going to do is to, if you remember, what the difference was, this thing. Okay, this was this is the payload, I think it's called. Okay, so yeah, this is the payload, because that's the menu entry. Okay, so the payload here, the right payload is your payload should be this one, but it's a bit I'm not sure if it makes sense, because it's closing at slip 1 second. What the hell? And then it extracts the entries. Okay, yeah, because actually what the extract entries does is just adding entries, so yeah, it makes sense. Okay, so we are going to copy the payload and we are going to put it here. Okay, here it is. So now we are going to indent it. Okay, and okay, and okay. So yeah, that's not well done. Now it's okay. So we can just, as you can see, the payload is also using the CFG which we have defined here, and it's also using the what's that, the CFG device, which we have defined here. So that's fine, that's okay. So now we are going to remove the old code. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so we save, and what we need to do now, we are going to hold the virtual machine, and what we are going to do is to build again the ISO. So I'm going to wait for the first hybrid build. So okay, it has finished, and I'm going to run it again in the KVM machine here, which I use because I want the CFG data from the disk. So I'm going to turn on the search in supergroup device search, and I'm going to use both manually and the extract entries. So the extract entries should do the right work. So it's quite similar. Okay, so yeah, so you've got the entries from. So if I choose this one, okay, yeah, so that might explain why I did not understand the code, because this entries from many entries actually it's just doing a slip, but it's not okay. So we should see here the entries from boot group to group. But I think let me check it. I think this is working correctly. So if we go to the to the command line, you will see that this file, okay, it does not have any. Okay, let's remove this because you don't have to see it. This file does not have any menu entry, any menu entries, so you are not seeing them because they are not there. So yeah, but I think it works. Okay, so let me check it thanks to VirtualBox. Okay, so LVM, we're going to use the one from the dual boot video. So if it wants to work, let me choose the right image. So we are going to text with some real entries if they are extracted or not, but as I tell you, I think they are extracted. Okay, so yeah, and we will probably use the final how's that? We will probably use the final supergroup hybrid. Okay. Yeah. We will probably use this virtual machine so that you can see yeah. Okay. Why is not working? Yeah. I need to press F12 so that it puts from CD-ROM. Okay, so put manually and extract entries. Okay, let's see what it happens. Okay, now as you can see that entries from MS-DOS 5 boot GRUB2 okay, Ubuntu, yeah, okay, so the entries are extracted. Okay, and as you can see it's quite fast, but this is VirtualBox, which works a bit better. So we're going to halt it, and now we can save the changes. Okay, so I'm going to do a diff. Okay, yeah, I guess it's okay. So I add it, and I'm going to do a commit, but I'm going to just reuse this because yeah, that's right, CFG extract. Okay, so that's it, we have finished. So I'm going to show you the menus again. So we press F12, run from CD-ROM, and I choose boot manually. So we have seen the operating systems was okay. we have just fixed grub.cfg struct entries. We have fixed before the grub.cfg grub2 configuration files, okay? And here there is menu.lst because there was an option in Grub2 to load these files, which I don't think anyone uses. I just hope anyone, if you want to use menu.lst, you use the GRUB2 Disk. But well, yeah, please try this option and give us feedback if it works or not. So here there are the files. So menu.lst, I guess that it's menu.lst. Okay, yeah, detect. So as you can see, this is the same thing. Okay, this is wrong. This is iterating. This is too many files which should not be used. And there is not boot grub2 menu.lst. I think that, yeah, there was not. It does not make sense. Okay, so we are going to work on this. Okay, so it's the same thing once again. So we hold the virtual machine so that you don't hear my fan noise so much. I did not manage to remove the noise, but I will try later on next live streamings. So I have in my other screen the one for menu.lst, sorry, for grub.cfg. So we are going to do the same thing, but we have to be very careful, okay, because this is quite different. Okay, it's the same code, but it's quite different. As you can see, we could use oriented programming here, but it's not worth. Okay, so first of all, yeah. So first of all, let's try this. Yeah, I need to learn how to use keyboard to do these things, so that I don't waste so much time. Okay, so what's the problem here? This is not the payload. Okay, so the payload is here. Okay, and as you can see, the payload it's also here. Okay, here there is not the thing about the same grub.cfg from the Grub2 Disk, because the Grub2 Disk does not have a menu.lst, so there is no need to remove it in the first place. So this is the payload, but well, okay. So let's change some variables, then we will change the payload. Okay, so this is the payload which we are not going to change, but yeah, and this is the rest of the things which we are going to change. So first of all, let's see. So this is menu.lst. Okay, so what we are checking here is menu.lst instead of CFG. Okay, so this is menu.lst. Yeah, this is menu. Yeah, and I think we are done. Yeah, then we have the path. Okay, the path is different. It's not boot grub.cfg, but boot grub menu.lst. So we change it, and the other one is without the boot, because we know we can have. Okay, so now we are going to remove the other entries, and this is going to be like this. So we could even put all of this in one line, although it doesn't matter too much. Okay, so then as you can see, this is nth path, which does not exist here, but we are going to we are going to change it. So we are going to we're going to name it LST path. Okay, so this is the LST path. So this is going to be the LST path. Okay, and as you can see here, there is the menu LST device. Okay, so the menu LST device is this one. Okay, so we need to change all the CFG device. Okay, and I think this is the payload, so that's it. Menu LST device. So def menu LST device, tell me if you should search or not, and then the LST path. So we are only searching into boot group menu LST and group menu LST. Okay, and then we are defining a new variable, which is menu LST, which is going to be the menu LST device. Okay, and the NLST path, which is one of these two. One of these two. Okay, now we can check if menu LST is found or not. This is like the old one, and then we have the payload. So I just need to the payload. Yeah, I am missing menu LST found, which I'm going to paste here. Yeah, and then everything. This is the payload. Okay, so this menu entries is closing here. Okay, so where's the payload? The payload it's here. So yeah, this is the payload. Okay, so we just copy it, and we are going to override the original payload. Okay, so now we are going to even things so that it looks pretty, because we no longer use tab for indenting things, and the menu entry should end here. Okay, so that's it. So now, as you can see, what it's doing is the legacy config file menu LST. Okay, so now the menu LST found is found here, so that's okay, and that's okay. Now we are going to remove the old code. The old code is this one. Okay, this was the old way of doing it, which was not so good. So now we are looping between devices, and we are just using the ones which are in search in device. Later on we will see if we just use an array of devices, search devices, and just loop between them. This was an idea from B3. Okay, but we will just do it like this right now, and then we will see. So searching the device, yeah, and that's it. Now the problem is how to test this. Well, I'm not going to test it. I'm just going to I'm just going to test it, but well, if it doesn't work, you should complain, okay? So, because I'm not going to install Node distribution which is based on GRUB legacy. Although I could just write a menu.lst file manually, and that's it. So let's boot. Okay, this is wrong. I'm booting the virtual machine, okay, but I have not built it. You need to build things so that you can test them again. Okay, so I'm booting into the virtual machine, booting from the CD-ROM, and if I choose boot manually and I choose menu.lst, at least it should work. It should say that no menu.lst file was detected. Okay, so this is great. Okay, so we are going to save these changes too. So we run a git diff. So I think it's okay. I'm going to add these files, and I'm going to do a commit, but I'm not very good at writing, so I just reusing my former writing, and that's it. Menu lst detect was rewritten so that it loops between devices that actually need to be searched into. Okay, so once again we have finished. So if I run the virtual machine, okay, F12 but from CD-ROM. If I take a look at boot manually, operating system says okay, grub.cfg extract entries, we did it. grub.cfg grub2 configuration files, we did it. And we just did the menu.lst grub legacy configuration files. So the core.emg file, it's going to be the same thing, because we all know it. So yeah, core.emg, this one. So I think it's this one, the where is it? The grub detect one. I think it's this one, the grub detect one, but we're going to check it. Okay. Sorry. So at main.cfg, I guess, okay, main.cfg, you can see that the extra grub, sorry, so that the boot manually, this is the recent one, and the next one is the grub detect. Okay, so yes, it's the grub detect. So the grub detect one, okay, it's here. So let's take a look at it. Okay, so as you can see, it happens the same thing. So we are first looping between all the devices because we are using the asterisk thing, okay, and then we are doing once again the thing about we are not the super GRUB2 device, and then we are and then we have the searching device. So Finally, we are running it thanks to multi-boot. I didn't know that you could boot it thanks to multi-boot. It's interesting. I'm wondering if it works, if it actually works. Anyway, I'm not going to test it right now. Maybe yes, but well, anyway. First of all, we are going to remove the thing about the thing about Super Grub2 device being searched, because the search is done before. Sorry, is done thanks to tools.cfg. I'm going to hold the virtual machine because we are not longer using it. So first of all, I'm going to remove the check for the own Super Grub2 device. Okay. So if I do a grub div, okay, that's the change I want to save. So I'm going to add group detect. Okay, let me check 1 second. Okay, it seems there's only one person looking the video. Maybe it's only me. Okay, so yeah, so there was a commit before. Where is it? Okay, I think that there was a problem, but now we continue to be live. Anyway, if there was a problem, well, I don't think there was a problem. So now, as I was explaining, we need to improve the scan ISOs function from auto ISO file so that it uses everything. Okay. So first of all, we're going to try the bootable ISOs, because I'm not sure I have an ISO in this virtual machine, so there's no ISO. So yeah, I'm going to reboot and I'm going to create an ISO, which is not going to work because why? Okay, why should it work? We only need to detect it so that we know that it's there. Okay, so now Ubuntu is booting. Yeah. Hopefully I have recorded the full hour. Somehow I think that muting the Pulse audio stream has made simple screen recorder to crash, and that was not right. Okay, so okay, Ubuntu is booting. It's booting with a high resolution thing. Yeah, okay. So yeah, so let's go to the to the terminal. Yeah. So not sure. Yeah. So now at boot, I'm going to create boot ISOs directory, and I'm going to create what's the name, random.iso. Okay. Oh yeah, I need an ISO that has a loopback.cfg file. Okay. Because if it does not have a lookback entry, then it complains. So yeah. So let me check 1 second. There was the lookback TFT. Okay, GRML. Ubuntu itself has this file. Okay, let me put into let me go into terminal 7 and let me check one thing. Okay, I have a GRML thing, so I can open here. One second. Okay, so what's my we are going to download an ISO. Okay, so from GRML, so that we can test this. This should be connecting. It's not connecting. That's not well, that's not right, I think. Unless this is not working. Yes, it's working. So why this is not working? Okay, yeah, that's not my address. This is wrong. This is like this. Okay. So 1 second. There's the permission things. Okay. So now I should be able to download this somewhere in save file. Hopefully it won't last too much, because we are on the problem here is that the streaming thing, it's going to suffer probably about this. Anyways, so while it's downloading, I'm going to check if there's space for it, because I'm not quite sure about it. if it wants to work. So this is going to disappear perhaps. Okay. So this is button, I guess. This is doing things. Sorry. Yeah, I knew that it was going to. No, okay. So terminal. Yeah. So do we have 800? Yes, we have 800. Maybe a rescatax ISO image. That's not right because we have this is super GRUB2 Disk image. So 2 minutes left so that it boots. So what we need to do is to move the. Okay, we are going to boot ISOs. And I'm going to remove the random ISO, and I'm going to move the home rescatax downloads. Wait a moment, this is downloads in Spanish. So now it's downloaded, but once it's downloaded, this is the name, and this is what I'm going to use to move it. So 2 minutes left, and yeah, 1 minute and a half, and we will test how the loopback boot is working with GRUB from December 2014. Okay. So once we test that it works, we are going to improve the. We are going to improve the. What's the name? We are going to improve the. Auto ISO script, so that it uses the search in device thing, and so that it works. Okay, so where is it? So as you can see, there are Casper ISO, there's Tiny Core, Slacks ISO. No, that's not right. You should use a standard loopback.cfg. Okay, so if you take a look at loopback.cfg wiki page, you will see that you just need to create loopback.cfg file. Okay, and the loopback.cfg file contents is similar to this one. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Okay, let me check if download has ended. Okay, download has ended. Now we. Okay, this is the magic from Unity. Yeah. So we have the image, the ISO input ISOs. So I'm going to hold the margin. Okay. And I'm going to run it. Okay. from GRUB2 Disk, and as you can see, okay, as you can see, there's the boot manually and bootable ISOs. Okay, so this is going to take and take and take and take. Okay, so it finally found grub loopback config from GRL96. So it's detecting it. Okay, and now we have the GRL mode entry, which is really nice. Okay, we're going to halt it. So it works. Okay, so now we're going to do some laundry here, do some improvements so that it works. Okay, so scan ISOs. Okay, what the hell is this? I'm wondering. Then true. What's that? Then true. If. Is this okay? What does happen if you have two ISOs? If I just find a loopback entry. Okay, yeah, because there's a search per ISO, so you can only be one way of ISO. There cannot be a particular magic ISO entry and a Slack ISO entry in the same ISO. So yes, it makes sense. So I'm just saying in the RSC that this live streaming is taking more time than I expected, and that's great because it applies more improvements. So let's continue. Let's see if we can find the payload here and everything. So more or less, this is the testing if the file exists or not. Okay. And then there's this is an F. Okay. Then there's they are testing if the device exists or this is empty. And then there's the file exists or not. Okay. So, well, yeah. We are going to try to do it, but it's not as easy as the other ones. And there's also this one, the expansion. So how do you plan to expand on this? Once doesn't make much sense, but we will try to do it somehow. It depends on the expansion. It should work or not, and this is very painful if we are not doing it right. So, but well, let's try and see what happens. So yeah, I'm going to copy and paste once again the original code for looping right? Okay. Then I'm going to ident it manually. Okay, let me check one thing. Okay, so yeah, here we are with our code. So which is the device? Okay, so the device which it's being used is just def. Okay, so this is probably going to be easier. No, that's not right, because they are using def with this, and that's right. So if I'm not mistaken, they are not using device without parentheses. So yeah, we're going to call this ISO device. Yeah. So this is going to be the ISO device. Yeah. And so searching device, ISO device. Yeah. Okay. And 1 second. So, and if the path, it's going to be isopath. Okay, and this is the difference, because we used CFG, and they are not using most anything. They are using isopath. Okay, so that's not exactly the same, and they are using the file variable thing. So I think this is file. I'm not very sure, but I think this is file. This is the ISO device, and this is the NISO path. Okay, so the NISO path is the one found here. Okay. So here it is. So there's also a directory which is isodirs. Okay, so this is really nice. I mean, this is really complex. That's beginning to be funny, because it was always the same thing, and it was beginning to be boring. So this is funny. So now I'm going to ident everything till this done. Okay, so let's do it. Yeah. So for dir in isodirs 2. So isodirs is here. Okay. So for an isopath in def, now we don't need the device. Do we need the dir? Yes, we need it. So I'm going to remove the device. Okay, so yeah, ISO device and ISO path. So an ISO path is dear ISO or the other dear ISO. Okay. So now, let's see if I can understand this. There's a test about the file being found or not. So just reuse it. Sorry. So we just reuse it. Okay. What more do we have? There's the path name thing. Okay, so we are probably saving $file path name into ISO path, and then we test if the device is empty or not, so that we can skip it. Okay. And then there's the loopback loopdef scan file, and we are working with def, which is the right device to use. And well, it doesn't seem to be quite different from the other. Yeah, it's quite different, but at the same time it's not so different. So this is the path name, which goes after the test which we already have. Okay, so this is the old code. Yeah, well, the old code. This is the code from the CFG one. So first of all, let's remove the tabs so that it's okay, and then we will see if it makes sense or not, because I'm not quite sure about it. Okay. I think we will finally use the B-free algorithm, so that there are some variables that save the devices we have to loop into, but I'm not sure, because I'm not quite sure that we need it. So yeah, that's it. Return 0. So once you do all of these, there's a return 0. So I need to make sure not to remove return 0 here. So let's see. So let us see. So the file is going to be the device ISO device, which was the old here, because this is the one with parentheses, the one which they are using, because yeah, you see that they are comparing it to the FDA with parentheses. So then we have the directory. Where is it? We have the directory, yeah, the ISO path, which is the directory, and then the ISO. So you can see you can use ISO and ISO, but not but not capital I and then SO in non-capital letters. So yeah, be careful about that. And then they are testing the file, ISO path, everything. So I think it's quite right. Okay, I'm going to copy the return one here, and we will just remove everything. Okay. So yeah, that's it. So I'm not going to save it right now. Let's do a hit diff. Okay, auto ISO, everything. Let's do a hit diff. Sorry, the git diff. Let's build it and let's test it. And we will see if it works or not, because I'm not quite sure about it. Okay, so let's boot it and yeah, we will make sure that we boot from CD-ROM and we use boot manually. Oh no! What's happening here? I just use boot manually and there's a lot of syntax error everywhere. That was not happening. As you can see, there is not an OS entry for this. So yeah, that's probably a fail. So what the hell are we doing wrong here? There's probably something about this file, probably about reusing, about trying to loop here. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm seeing what's wrong here. So this is, I know, so path. Okay. This is looking for files. Okay, but these are files which begin with search in device. Sorry, with dir. So it's either boot ISOs, boot ISOs, and so on. So what the problem here is that this is expecting to loop between files, and yeah, I'm just using it as if it was text, while it's not text, because the actual thing it's here, the actual test, if the file exists, is here. So yeah, let me test if I can't simple quote this. Here I will need some help. Okay, let me, 1 second. Yeah, let me, so this is how we were. Okay, now I'm going to remove this colon, sorry, semicolon, because I have just seen that it should not be there. Okay, so yeah, there's colon which shouldn't be there, and now the colon is no longer there. So we are going to build it again, and we are going to halt the virtual machine, and we're going to run it again and see if it fixes anything. But I think it's going to fail also, because it's going to try to loop between files, and that's not okay. I just forgot to put from CD-ROM. So boot manually. Okay, it's not failing. I don't know why, but it's not failing. So bootable ISOs. Now we are going to see if it works. I'm not quite sure. So yeah, does not work. Why? Because it does not work. Yeah, that's the problem. It is not working. So we can see that an ISO path which is boot, but this is, and we are we set pander 1. There's the file one. So the file one is cd gpt1 boot positions. So here there is one slash, we should not be there, but anyway I don't think that's the problem. But let's see auto ISOs. So it seems there's a slash that should not be there. Okay, so ISODIRS. Okay, ISODIRS has a slash. So yeah. No. So dir slash okay. So scan ISOs. So I'm going to remove the first slash. I don't think it's going to fix it, but we will just try it. Okay. So now I'm going to where is it? I'm going to build it again. Okay. So already done. We are going to test it and see if it works. See the ROM. Okay, so put manually, table ISOs. It's not working as I expected. So nobody is helping me in the IRC. Okay. Anyway, so the problem is the looping here. We should it expects files, but this is not file. This is an RDIR. So yeah, probably we should not expect to build a file thanks to this, but thanks to the, I mean, we are going to do it. We are going to do it better than we're going to do it quite differently from the other implementations, but because this is going to search for ESL files. But I think it's going to work. So instead of looking for an ISO path, we're going to search for a file. Okay, so this would be this one. Okay, and this one should be there here. Okay. I am right, yes, I am right. So I no longer need an ISO path, which is not used anywhere. And ISO device, yes, I'm going to use it, so I can remove this file. So now file is going to search into ISO device, which is the one with our thing. Put ISOs dir, and then the, so this is going to search into the ISOs, So we are going to put this pretty, so that it's a bit so that it's prettier. Yeah, and this is going to be pretty too. Yeah, so that's it. So now the file is directly looping between the ISO device, directory, and ISOs, but it's not looping in the non-search devices. So it's not looping the devices which do not need to be searched. Okay, so we are going to build it again, and okay, it has built. Now we are going to run it. Okay, so F12, boot from CD-ROM, boot manually, bootable ISOs, and we will see if it works or not. Okay, there were some problems, but it has detected something. Okay, let's run it. Oh, it works. Okay, so now we will take a look at the errors, which I don't know which, maybe they are okay, but I'm not sure. Okay, boot manually, bootable ISOs. Not sure how to search in the BIOS. Okay, cannot find command search in the BIOS. Yeah, why is that? Because we need to include it. So if we take a look at cfgdetect.cfg, you will see that the run option, the first thing it does is doing a source of tools. Okay, so this is what's needed in most any in any file that uses search in the device, so that we can use it. So we will go into the auto ISO and we will add it to the run option So we just put it here, source tools. Okay, I'm going to put it the first one, but I don't think it matters too much. Okay, so now I'm going to check the diff if it's okay. I'm not quite sure if it's okay. Diff, okay, that's okay. And the last one, okay, that's okay. Yeah, so let's build it again. It's built. Let's boot it. Let's select. Oh, okay. Let's select the CD-ROM and let's run the bootable ISOs. Let's see if. Okay, it seems there are no errors. And here we have the GRL thing. I'm going to check if it boots, if it actually boots, because anyway it should work. Because if it doesn't work, it seems it works. Let's see. Yeah, it's mounting its root file system. That's very good. It's very well. It's probably going to boot okay if it's able to mount its root file system. So yeah, now it's booting, and that's very okay. Go on, GRL. Okay, so you and shut down. Okay, so as you can see, it works. So now, while GRL is stopping itself, we are going to save this. Okay. And as you can see, we have removed the floppy line thing. Okay, so that's. So let's search for the commit. Yeah. So this is the auto ISO. Okay. So I think we have finished. Let us take a look at the. We could improve it with the search, an array with the search devices, so that we don't have to check it each time. Each time we look, we don't have to run the search in the bias, but that means using this variable and many more things. So but manually we have just run into all of these entries and they are improved. So there's enable all native disk drivers. Yeah, I think that's it. So if I run detect and show boot methods, it's going to run all of these functions, which were looping into so many devices. So yeah, there are some errors there, but as you can see, the operating systems we have, which have been detected. In this case, it's the Ubuntu entries. You can see the entries from the grub.crt. You want to run them. You can see the grub2 configuration files. You can see the menu.lst, which they are not. You can see the core.emt, which I'm going to run just for fun. And then there's the potato ISOs. So just for fun. I don't know if it's going to work. Yes, it's working. Amazing. Yeah. Didn't know it worked so well. So yeah, let's boot from CD-ROM. Let's see if I can grasp something of the errors, because it says something about export. So there are some unknown file systems. That's okay. And there should be a go back entry somewhere here. Yeah, return to main. I need to record this and play it in slow motion, because else it's a bit. Look back. Yeah. Well, as I can see, these are the errors from extract group entries. Because it tries to run some commands from grub.cft, but well, that's the extract group entries thing that it's wrong from well, the command is not well. Yeah, extract. Yeah. If you cannot run a command inside an extractor, do not try to run it. Just ignore it. But well, anyway, it works. So it's working, and it should be working faster than before. Okay. So we are going to make these changes live. What's live? What's the name? Yeah, we're going to push it so that they are public, and that's it. We have managed to. Okay, let's see if I can. Yeah, we have managed to. Where is it? Here it is. We have managed to so that CFT detect does not exclude its own Grub2 device by itself, because it can use search in device function. We have improve it so that it only loops between devices that actually need to be searched into, thanks to search in device. Then we have done the same thing thanks into the extract entries. We have done the same thing into the menu.lst thing, menu.lst entries. Then the core.emg entries, same thing, and finally the auto ISO. So finally what we are getting is that the detect everything option is going to run faster. Okay, so detect and show boot methods option, which was the old everything option, now it's working faster. Okay, as this is 7-8 seconds, so maybe before it was 30 seconds to run, I don't know. You will tell us when we release the dot thing. So I mean, current version is 2.02 S2, so I might release S3 beta 1, so it will be beta 3, sorry, like this. So I probably release the 2.02 S3 beta 1 in the next days, or maybe this afternoon, I'm not sure about it. So that's it. Hopefully it can help you if you want to hack into Grub2 Disk, and so that you understand everything. So let's see if I can cancel the what's the name? Cancel the live event. 2 hours. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to wait 1 minute or so, well, some seconds, just in case just in case there's a delay, but anyway, I'm going to close it. Thank you everyone for listening to it.